Wow, it's really raining. Okay, well, before I go inside, this is why I love vlogs, because like it doesn't matter, really, truly. Hi. So you saw my previous video. You know that I'm a very sensitive person. I said that I'm totally fine with admitting that now. Like, I take things personal, I feel things very deeply, and I have experienced like people trying to take advantage of that sensitivity and that kind of energy. I realized that I was actually letting some people take advantage of me just so that I could say I had their company, and that I was actually giving up a lot of my power and my choice by doing that. So I finally learned what boundaries are and how to implement them. So I finally feel confident speaking on them now that I'm actually sticking to them. So let me go inside because this rain is ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Wow.
I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Get cream, make me sweat ass pussy. He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. Hey, think I need a king cobra with a hook in it. Hope it lean over. He got some money, that's what I'm here. Pussy ain't one, just like his credit. He got a beard.
Before I head to the gym, I wanted to talk about what I feel boundaries actually are. My actual understanding of boundaries, because having to understand what they are was essential to actually implementing good boundaries and not things that I thought were boundaries. Word. So what is a boundary? Boundaries are I statements, right? So do you remember that episode of SpongeBob where it was him, Patrick, and Squidward, and there was the sea bear trying to get to them, trying to get their ass, like for real, and the only thing that stopped the sea bear from getting them was the circle they drew around themselves, and like how that stopped the monster from getting to them. They couldn't draw the circle around the bear. That doesn't work. Boundaries are what protects you, what keeps you in line, right? So when I think about boundaries, that's always the image I get, especially as a mathematician. It's a line around you to protect you, right? It's your line of defense, your boundaries, your fence in your yard, right? So an example then of a boundary would be, I don't feel comfortable around people that make me feel disrespected, because this makes me feel self-conscious. Therefore, when I feel or recognize that I am being disrespected, I will leave, or I will say something and remove myself. I will go, because this is how I manage my emotions, not the other way around. So boundaries are what I do to control my behavior. This earring is starting to hurt me suddenly. Let's loosen you up, sister girl. You're killing me. You're killing me. So boundaries are what I do to control myself. What is not a boundary is, I see you over there doing whatever and that makes me feel disrespected, so you need to stop before I get upset and cause a scene. That has been me before in the past. But that is not a boundary. That is me controlling someone else's behavior to impact my mood, whereas boundaries are about what I can do to control my behavior to impact my mood. So instead of telling them what they should be doing with their behavior, whoever them is, I recognize it, I call it out, I say this has made me feel this way, so in order to manage that, I'm going to do this. And sometimes that means I'm going to call less. Sometimes that means I'm going to go to this place less. Sometimes that means I'm going to ignore XYZ. Like, it's always about like when you recognize what you need to do, not what you need to tell other people to do. Word to that recent Jonah Hill text message thing, like, oh, you're crossing my boundaries because you're doing things that make me feel uncomfortable. No, babe, that's control. That's controlling other people. That's not what we're doing. We're talking about how to set boundaries that make us feel safe, things that we can do to make sure our lives go the way we want them to. We have some choice in our experiences. We do. So we have to actually choose when we want to be in and out of that line, how far we want that line to go out, how much we want it to cover, when we gonna stick to them, how we're gonna stick to them. Those are personal choices. And once I realized that you know, that I have a choice, I can decide when to go, I can decide what to stick around, I can decide how people are allowed to treat me in my relationships and my friendships and these kind of things, then I can actually make decisions that make me feel good. I can actually have an already set list of things that I know make me feel good, and I can just fall back on that instead of trying to do it on a case-by-case basis. If I have a set standard of boundaries, a set way of being treated, then I'm always good. Stay ready and gotta get ready. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, speaking of getting ready, it is now leg day, friends. It's leg day. Uh-oh. And it's like rainy outside. I don't know if you can tell. It's been a rainy couple days, and it's been a bummer a couple days, y'all. My fucking external hard drive has malfunctioned. Full on malfunction. I mean, I cannot access several videos that I've already recorded. So, it's fine. The rain fits the mood, but I still have things to do, so I'm gonna go and do them. Starting with getting me something to eat and my leg day. I gotta get gas, getting me something to eat, and then leg day. Anyway, let's go do that. What do you want to eat? I need some meat, I need something to eat. Let's see.
The thought of you keep running through my mind. I had to pull the plug this time. It was all good till the love gave in, girl. Yeah. I'll never fall for your type again, girl. Hey, thinking it was my fault. I was trying to give you all you need. Didn't see the blindfold. All them nights, all that time. Can't believe it was all just a game. You really took my heart for a drive. I remember when you were all in for us. I recall when you said you never loved someone like this, telling me lies. You had someone else, now you running back. It was all good till the love gave in, girl. Yeah. I'll never fall for your type again.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That was so good. Hold on, I'm probably yelling. That was so good. Really had to push through to come here today, but I'm so proud that I did. Oh my god. Before I actually go home, I did want to talk about why I think we end up externalizing our boundaries. Like, I talked about how I finally realized that they were internal things, that they were about me and not about other people, and I definitely have been that person before, trying to control other people's behavior in order to control my emotions, but I realized that I can't really do that, and I feel like the reason we tend to externalize them, you know, make it other people's problems so often. It is really hot. Let me see. This motherfucker got a sunroof, so give me some sun. Give me some sun, baby. Give me some sun. Give me some air. Yeah. I'm gonna enjoy it. Why wouldn't I enjoy it? Okay. So, I feel like, personally, at least these are some reasons for me, and maybe they resonate with you, about why I feel like we externalize boundaries in our society. Like, we live in a capitalist society where productivity and efficiency and like getting things out is the #1 priority. So we're socialized from childhood to value obedience more than anything. Like, we need to just be obedient to whatever we're instructed to do, regardless of what we need or want in that moment, because it's all about staying under the guidelines, staying under the rules of whatever you were taught, whatever that may mean. And so it's very easy, it's almost inbred in us to neglect our needs, because that's not as important as the collective, or it's not as important as the family or the job or the whatever. Like, there's always something that comes before our needs. And so of course we internalize that with our relationships too, and the things that we do. And I feel like that tends to be especially true for women. Like, I'm a black woman, and I definitely was raised to, you know, sometimes put the needs of like my siblings or my parent or, you know, my obligations above what I wanted personally or what was good for me. And I feel like there's also a certain part of about those needs not even being our responsibility. Like, we don't have to think about them because we're just following obedience. And then also, it's not our job, you know, for the first 18 years of our life, it's supposed to be our parents' job to make sure that we are protected. Like, to set boundaries is to make sure that you are safe and that you are comfortable. And for the first 18 years of our life, that's supposed to be our parents' job to set those boundaries for us. No, to let my child can't do this. My child, you can't do this to my child. These are the boundaries around my child's behavior. And sometimes those parents do give us boundaries, sometimes they don't. Either way, it's not really our responsibility until we get to adulthood, and then we have to kind of start all over. And for me, there was this barrier of trusting myself enough to be able to do that, of being like, can I be responsible for myself? Like, what does making myself make sure I'm safe look like? And not even in the most literal sense, like, sure, in the most literal sense, watching out for murderers, but also in the sense of will make me emotionally safe. If I'm used to my parents or my guardians not keeping me emotionally safe, I might have a bad starting point, or I might not have a starting point at all. Like, actually figuring out what's good for me is something I had to figure out, and figuring out that meant actually questioning what I needed to keep myself safe. What makes me comfortable, what makes me feel good. And to answer these questions honestly and transparently, I have to sit in and have that conversation with myself and listen honestly, like listen with full transparency, no judgment, no shame, and then respond on how I think I can make that version of myself feel better. So it's easier to dig inside of myself than to dig inside of other people, and that's what I was trying to do before, when I was externalizing them, trying to make it other people's problems, other people's behavior. But it's not about other people. It's about me. So like, what do I need, you know? And I actually came up with some questions to ask myself to interrogate ever so often to make sure that I am within my boundaries and that I'm setting things that I feel are good for me. So we're going to go over that after my walk. Though I think I'm gonna get me a snack first, because I'm pretty hungry. I think I'm gonna go home and make me a parfait or something, and then I'll go on my walk before the sun sets. You know, I don't like walking on treadmills. If I'm gonna walk, I gotta walk on the street. She belongs to the streets, honey. Let me see. I think I want a yogurt parfait. I think I want me a parfait. So many cars.
Ain't that DJ Jones over there?
Hey, I got a nigga give me all that I want.
He can leave me alone. Unless he in the door, already know what I'm on. Look.
Well, you look bad. What about you, buddy? You look good. Okay. Honey? Nola. This is the snack. We got some yogurt, some granola, some apples, some honey. Let's make it pretty. Bone apple chip. Greek yogurt has protein. Apples have fiber. Honey is sweet. And these granola also have protein. fantastic snack. My 2 priorities: sweet, check; crunchy, check; high in protein, check. Otherwise, I would just make a protein smoothie. It's only 6:30, sun sets at 8. Plenty of time to go on my walk. I'm gonna enjoy this and pick you up when I'm outside. Also, I just finished season 10 of Grey's. Christina Yang, Forever the Baddest, Forever an Inspiration. Makes me want to watch Legally Blonde. Like, I just love badass women. And I'm just trying to decide, like, the Pierce drama and the Richard drama, and then, like, Amy, the Meredith drama. Like, all the storylines after these get so annoying. I just don't know. Otherwise, I have to find something new to watch. So, if you have any TV show recommendations, funny, drama, dramedy, you know, some Grace and Frankie, Schitt's Creek, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Dead to Me type vibes, fuck with me. You know, I still have Parks and Rec and some other, like, workplace family show on my to watch list, but maybe I should just go ahead and rewatch Insecure. I haven't done that. I watched it for the first time maybe 2 years ago. I was real late. So I should probably rewatch that. Maybe that's a good idea. We'll see. Let me know. Okay, on my walk, and there's like hella people outside. So apparently something is happening. I didn't know something was happening. I am not wearing something that's happening clothes, but I am intrigued. Should I check it out? Oh my God, it's a lot of people. Dog. I thought they were naked for a second. That's a hell of people. What's going on? Hi.
You're vlogging?
I am. You want to be on it?
Yes. Hi vlog. How are you? Welcome to Richmond. It's a Saturday.
Yes.
Wait, Friday night. How are we?
It is Friday. Oh, so something
Friday.
is definitely happening.
I don't know what's going on down
I don't
here,
know what's happening.
but I have not a clue. But I was like trying to park and literally started to the vape store.
I parked super far away.
It's fucking ghetto.
Like, super far away.
Hi. Welcome back to her channel. Subscribe. She's iconic. Get her to 10,000.
Oh, her, like, literally from your mouth.
She'll be pissed. I'll be pissed for her.
I had a different objective, but now I feel like I should check out what's going on.
No, literally, you should. It's just like it'd be interesting for the vlog.
Yeah.
No, you look cute.
This is work. I was just working out in this.
It's cute.
Have real clothes, you know.
Okay, it's tea. I just got out of my work clothes, but I'm
You look
This isn't real clothes. It's just like
this is. What do you mean? You have the jewelry, you know what I'm saying? The bag and the shoes, the socks, the
Basquiat
stop saying like come versus what I have the fuck on. Duh.
I'm here for it.
I'm more of a dress girl.
Oh, she's a dress girl. She's just in her workout era.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I'm in my workout era too, but I didn't go to it. It's fine.
It's okay, and you look like that, so it's okay. That's how it works.
I'm gonna subscribe to it.
It's live with Quin. wow. So now there's gonna be background music here too. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. I cannot believe there's music. And country music at that. Okay, I am in Virginia. That's right. Okay. This music is actual torture. So here I am recording on my phone again because that's my only rescue. But I'm out into my walk, so I wanted to stop and talk about the questions I've been asking myself while setting these boundaries, because I have to be able to recognize what I need and what I want and able to set rules for myself and things that make me feel safe. So like these are things I have to ask myself. So the first one I've been asking myself is, am I listening to my body when I'm feeling a physical sensation? So like if I have to go pee or something, am I actually going to go do that, or am I holding it in because I'm still working or because I'm doing this? Like, am I actually listening to my body and responding? When I feel that first thing of I should eat, do I actually do that, or do I wait until I'm done with what I'm doing? Like, am I listening to my body? Am I even recognizing when I feel a need? How can I respond effectively and safely if I'm not recognizing what's going on? So like that's the first thing that I've been having to make sure I'm doing, is making sure that I am connecting with myself and recognizing these things when they happen. Second question I've been asking myself, am I really aware of my insecurities? And then am I aware of when I'm in situations that trigger these insecurities and reconfirm them for me? So like if I personally have an insecurity about being used. So if I'm in a situation where I feel like someone's taking advantage of me, I'm really sensitive to that, because then that confirms that insecurity. So then I have to have rules about that. Like, in what ways am I making sure that I am not being used? Do I need to get some affirmation? Do I need to set a rule, a boundary? Like, what do I need to do? So I have to be able to pay attention to these things. You have to pay attention to when you don't feel safe or comfortable. And since I am now an adult, I do have the option a lot of the time of where I am, especially now with this work from home stuff. I don't have to see or be anywhere I don't want to be, or see anyone I don't want to see. Like, that's fully in my choice. So I don't want to be around unsafe people or in unsafe spaces. So that is something I'm also trying to be really cognizant of. The third question I've been asking myself is, do I recognize when my cup is full? Like, am I ever overcommitting or overextending myself or overcommitting myself in one direction? Because I do aim to have a balanced life. Like, there are many things I want to accomplish, and I can't do that if I'm doing too much of one thing in a positive or negative way. And it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm not breaking my own back. Like, there are enough expectations as a daughter, as a partner, as a friend, as a student, as an employee, as a citizen. Like, there's already enough expectations in our behavior. Like, don't give more than you absolutely have to. Like, and we Black, like, come on, there's enough expectations, dog. Like, do not do more harm to yourself. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You only have to do what is good for you and your people. Like, don't hurt nobody. All right. And then the fourth thing that I've been asking myself is, am I spending time doing things I don't want to do? And am I spending a lot of time doing things I don't want to do? Because like, if you don't want to do it and you don't have to do it, like, I understand doing things we don't want to do because we have to, like going into the office and shit like that. But are you doing things you don't have to do and you don't want to do, like, just because you feel like you should, or because you were peer pressured, you feel some FOMO, or you feel like you have to, or somebody would judge you for not doing it? Like, I feel like we all do that, and there's really no need to. Like, as an adult, it's up to you to not people please, to not do things you don't want to do, because that's how you build resentment towards other people and other people's choices and how they're not doing what you're doing. And it's just a recipe for disaster. Be honest. Don't do things you don't want to do. You don't want to talk on the phone right now, don't talk on the phone right now, or you're going to be annoyed. You don't want to, spend money and go out, then it's just something else. Don't break your bank just to fit in. Like, start prioritizing what you want and what's good for you. You don't have to stick to anyone's standard but your own. Boundaries are you setting your standard for yourself, prioritizing what you want and what you need, because no one can tell you that and no one can make that up but you. So these are things I'm figuring out for myself, like what makes me feel good, what makes me feel safe, because I want to be able to be vulnerable. I want to be able to be soft. I want to be able to be transparent, and I can't do that in unsafe places. And if I am not creating boundaries for myself and my relationships, then it's getting easier to take advantage of and be in those unsafe spaces. So it's really all a conversation with myself, and I really hope those questions help. So I'm going to finish my walk before the sun fully sets, because then that's dangerous, because I'm a lady, and go home and eat. I think I'm going to make my protein pizza I got this recipe off of someone's fitness Instagram. I've been really using my fitness Instagram for protein recipes, so word up for that. Finna go make that once I finish my walk. But I love meeting people. It was so nice meeting my new friend. Thanks for subscribing, cutie. Let me show my outfit. I feel like I've already shown my outfit all day at the gym and shit, but I'm just really feeling cute. Okay. I'm gonna finish my walk now. I've already turned on the oven. It's called being prepared, okay? And she's ready. Okay. Y'all, this pizza was honestly delicious. Let me stop chewing for a second. Hold on. Right? The naan bread as the crust is really top tier. Anyway. Boundaries have honestly been a lifesaver for entering my soft girl era, because I talked a lot about how that's really just me cultivating safety within myself and in my environment. So for me, that means I have to intentionally make choices every day that show myself that I am invested, in keeping myself safe. I control how far my boundary goes and what goes outside of it. I've honestly tried changing myself. I've tried to get thicker skin. I've tried to just deal with it. I've tried to have all the, coping mechanisms in the world, but the truth is I am sensitive, and I actually can just find places and people that allow me to be myself without me having to alter who I am. I can just be me, and there were people out there that will respect me and let me be who I am wholly and safely, same as I can do for them. So getting boundaries for me has been finding the tools to make sure that I find the right spaces and people to make sure that I am safe to be me 100% as I am. So if you're a fellow crybaby or a recovering people pleaser, please consider asking yourself these questions and start thinking about ways that you can take control of your experiences. Like, I am a Virgo, and this is just the way I am as a mathematician, to make sure that I can, if I have an active role in my life, I want to make sure that I am doing that consciously, intentionally, and boundaries are a great way to make sure that you are aligning your life with the things that keep you whole and safe. I am so excited to keep, figuring out what's best for me and make sure that I am doing all I can to ensure that I flourish. All of my friends are flourishing, thriving in abundance. Word to Insecure. So I will see you in my next video. Bye, friend.